The Yankees are trying desperately to fix Luis Severino, but yeah, about that. Corey Seager, he is on pace to become the first shortstop in the history of baseball to put up this stat line. Bobby Witt Jr., a fellow shortstop, he's quite literally turning into a top 10 player in baseball. And Luis Robert Jr., he stared down some Cubs fans after hitting an absolute tank, and those Cubs fans were not happy about that. All of that in today's MLB Recap, a series in which we recap every single game, almost every single day. And a reminder, if you're going to any games anytime soon, save yourself 20 bucks off, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek. Unfortunately, I have some more awful news for Rays fans, and this one is an injury-related news. Shane McClanahan, one of the best pitchers in baseball, he's going to be out for the remainder of 2023 and potentially all of 2024 with Tommy John surgery. I don't know what's happening with the medical staff of the Tampa Bay Rays, but Drew Rasmussen, Jeffrey Springs, Tyler Glasnow was out for a long time after coming back from Tommy John. Now Shane McClanahan. Are they emphasizing too much spin and that's putting too much pressure on the elbow? I have no idea, but way too many season-ending surgeries are happening down in Tampa Bay. Now, one day after the Giants got embarrassed by Tampa Bay, San Francisco, they returned the favor with a blowout of their own. Jairo Estrada, he is having a breakout season. He now has 10 home runs and 18 stolen bases while playing some of the best defense of any infielder / utility player in baseball. Wilmer Flores, he had a 2-run home run. My jaw dropped after seeing his stats. He's hitting 300. That was his 16th home run, and he has a 145 OPS plus. Michael Conforto, his reign of terror on baseballs over the last week continued with an RBI double. He's hitting 560 the last week, and Patrick Bailey, he ended the game. He drove in Michael Conforto, and yeah, the Giants get some payback, and it's been a terrible week for the Rays and their fan base. I didn't even know that Cole Calhoun was still in baseball, let alone in the Guardians system. I'm a Guardians fan. I should know these things, but I didn't know until he was recalled a week ago, and I had to do a double take because I thought it said Willie Calhoun. No, Cole Calhoun, the former Angel. He knocked in 2 for rookie starting pitcher Logan Allen, and Cleveland, their pitching factory is almost unfair. This kid went 6 shutout with 7 punch-outs. Cleveland now has 3 pitchers in the top 13 for rookie F-WAR. Tanner Bybee has a 2.9 ERA. Gavin Williams has a 2.8 ERA. Logan Allen is the worst of the rookies with a 3.3 ERA. Emmanuel Clase, he now has 32 saves. He finally did not implode. He's 1 save away from 100 for his career. He's only 25 years old. Now, Twins fans had to pray that they could come in clutch versus a scrappy Detroit team because the Guardians, they've been playing better as of late, and my goodness, Miggy, he hit one 440 feet into the second deck. I'm going to really miss those home runs. He's retiring after 2023. Miggy, he's not the best player anymore, but still, I'm going to miss him nonetheless. That was definitely the longest home run of the game, and I'm definitely not lying. Okay, I lied. After Detroit starting pitcher Alex Faedo tossed 5 shutout, only allowed 1 base hit. Relief pitchers Jose Cisnero and Will Vest completely imploded. Royce Lewis, he had an RBI single. He played in 1, and remember how I said that Miggy's 440-foot blast was the longest? Yeah, Matt Wallner went 450 feet for his first career grand slam. He was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts coming into that bat, 1 for 4 with the grand slam. In 56 games, Matt Wallner has 11 home runs and an almost 130 OPS plus. Torkelson, I do want to show his home run. He's so close to a 100 OPS plus. Duran, he now has 22 saves. The Twins, every time the Guardians win, they win. Every time the Twins lose, the Guardians lose. From a go-ahead grand slam to a 3-run home run that might have just ended the Yankees season. Why is Luis Severino still out there? Well, Yankees fans, they educated me saying that, yeah, they basically don't have anyone left. Nestor Cortez, Carlos Rodon, Frankie Montas, yes, he still exists, but he hasn't pitched 1 time this year. They need Luis Severino to eat innings. And then Ozuna, 24 home runs. Ronald, he barely muscled one out. He has 27 home runs. I genuinely have no idea how that left. It looked like a can of corn pop-up, but he's got 27 home runs, 55 stolen bases, and a 425 on base percentage. Bryce Elder, he looked cooked over the last few starts, but of course he got right in time for the Yankees, or maybe he got right because of the Yankees. 1 hit, 7 shutout. It must be nice to be a Braves fan right now. I mean, Yankees fans can't say the same. The Blue Jays and the Phillies, starting pitchers Zach Wheeler and Yusei Kikuchi, they locked in for a pretty fun pitchers duel. They only allowed 2 runs combined between both of them. Yusei, he struck out 7 over 6. He only allowed 4 base hits on 84 pitches. There's 1 run, a double to rookie Johan Rojas. Wheeler, he also allowed 1 run in the 6th inning. How is this game going to end? Surely it will not be a hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. Just kidding, that's exactly what happened. Kevin Biggio, almost a Craig again. He was hit in the 8th inning, and the Toronto bullpen, they were absolutely lights out. Garcia, Hicks, and Romano, they combined for 3 no-hit innings, 6 strikeouts. Romano, he has 29 saves, and over the last few years since 2020, he has a combined 2.19 ERA and 90 saves. He's amazing. So we all know that the Phillies and the Marlins are basically battling for a wild card spot, and same with the Astros, but in the American League. That's why this Houston versus Marlins series is actually pretty important. Jorge Soler, he was up for the challenge. That's his 30th home run. I had no idea that he was 31 years old. I thought he was still 28, maybe 29 years old. He's just going to keep on raking, I guess. You know who else rakes? Houston rookie catcher Yainer Diaz, and also their budding star Chas McCormick. Yainer has 16 home runs and 7 76 games. Kind of reminds me of rookie Gary Sanchez. Chas McCormick, he's ridiculous. He's almost hitting 290 with 16 home runs, 13 stolen bases, and a ridiculous 145 OPS plus on top of playing insane outfield defense. He's kind of been Kroger's Kyle Tucker, who also went yard. They call him King Tuck. He has 23 home runs, 24 stolen bases. He set up the save opportunity for Ryan Presley. He has 28 saves as the Astros barely squeak past the Marlins 6-5. Again, like I mentioned, Houston is very much fighting for a wild card spot, and that's because I genuinely think Texas might be too good to actually catch up to them. Marcus Semien, he laid down RBI triple, and Corey Seager, he hit his first of 2 home runs on the night. We'll talk about his historic season in just a second because I want to showcase Jordan Montgomery, the newcomer. He held the Angels to 1 run over 6. He had 7 punch outs along the way. So he has a 2.5 ERA in Texas. Max Scherzer has a 1.8 ERA in Texas. Lucas Giolito, on the other hand, has an 8.14 ERA as an Angel. Corey Seager, he launched his second home run of the night, and then he plated 2 more RBIs on a single in the 8th. 2023 Corey Seager could become the first shortstop in baseball history to have 20-plus home runs and a 180 OPS plus in 100 games played. He's at 77 right now. Can he get there? Let me know. So the Rangers are still 3.5 games ahead of the Astros, while the Angels fall to 8 games back of a wildcard spot. Switching to another AL West team, the Mariners, they are taking on Bobby Witt Jr. and the boys. Seattle, they jumped out, and they jumped out early. It was a slugfest. We had a home run from Eugenio Suarez, another home run from Ty France, a 2-run home run from Teoscar Hernandez. I think Teoscar went 4 for 5 with a bunch of RBIs, and then there was a 2-run home run from the newcomer Josh Rojas. It was 7-0 in the blink of an eye. I say that because it all happened in 1 inning, by the way, and then Kansas City erupted for 5 runs in like 13.4 seconds. Bobby Witt Jr., he is turning into Mike Trout right before our very own eyes. I can't believe these stats. He's hitting .350 with 10 home runs, 8 stolen bases, and 31 RBIs over his last 30 games. Teoscar Hernandez thankfully doubled in 1 more insurance run for Seattle because the Mariners bullpen, they imploded in the 9th inning. An error set up a terrible outing for Andres Munoz. He couldn't stop the bleeding, and 2 scored. It's now tied 8-8 when Ty France, he played hero ball for like the 70th time over the last few seasons. He brought home 2, he sealed the deal, and the Mariners, they squeaked past the Royals 10-8. That was a fun game to watch. So we already saw the Blue Jays win. That means that the Mariners are still 2 games back of Toronto for that final wildcard spot, but don't count out the Boston Red Sox. They're right on the heels of the Mariners, and as you can see, Verdugo, he blasted off. That's a leadoff home run, his 9th of the season. Tristan Casas, get out challenge. It seems to be impossible. He drove in 2 on a single. Now Washington, they did make it a close game. They made the comeback off of Nick Pivetta. It was 4-4 in the 4th inning when Washington, they folded and allowed a free run to score, and then the Boston bullpen, they stepped up in a big way. 5 guys combined for nearly 5 shutout innings, 1 base hit allowed. Kenley Jansen, he has 28 saves on the season. Again, the Boston Red Sox, they're only 1 game back of the Mariners, and they're 3 games back of the Blue Jays for that final wildcard spot. The Cardinals and the A's, what a first inning for St. Louis. They basically won the game before it even started. Paul Goldschmidt, he kickstarted it with an RBI double. Nolan Arenado and Jordan Walker, they both hit home runs in the first. Arenado is one of 7 infielders in the history of baseball to have 360 doubles and 320 home runs by the age of 32. He is so productive, so good, no matter what you need from him. Every other player is in the Hall of Fame, by the way, or will be in the Hall of Fame, and if not, his name is A-Rod. Rookie Jordan Walker, he has 11 home runs and a near .330 on base percentage. Tommy Edman, he hit a home run as well, but I can't move on until I show this moonshot from Lawrence Butler. He was just in the Futures game last month, and now he's hitting 440-foot rockets. That's his first career home run, but like I said, Tommy Edman, he grabbed a home run as well, and out of nowhere, the Cardinals, they've won 3 games in a row. Home runs were flying down in Wrigley. Okay, there was only 3 total, but some drama happened on the 3rd home run. Stay tuned. Ian Happ, he put the Cubs up by 1 on his 14th home run, and after the White Sox went up 1 in the 2nd, Seiya Suzuki, he tied it. I really like Seiya's tools. He's hitting .321 with 3 home runs over his last 8 games, so he's waking up. Here comes the drama. The best part is it wasn't player versus player or team versus team. It was player versus fans. Luis Robert Jr. versus some Cubs fans. He was chirped at by a couple frat dudes, and then he proceeded to go 425 feet for his 32nd home run, and then he was chirped at again after hitting that moonshot. He was given the bird by one fan. I'm going to call him Chad, and then he was called a bum by Chad's friend. I'm going to call him Thad. Yeah, when will fans realize it's not smart to chirp supreme athletes? Bryce Harper, Giancarlo Stanton, I don't care who it is. You don't chirp these dudes. Gregory Santos, he was nasty. He struck out 3 for the save. The White Sox, they beat their Chicago foes 5-3. We have a bunch of NL West teams coming up. Slam Diego is back in business, but we'll get to that game in just a second because the Diamondbacks, they've been playing like garbage over the last month, but because they were so good for so long, they're still right there in the wild card race in the National League. Christian Walker, since last year, he's combined to hit 62 home runs with a 130 OPS plus. The only problem is Arizona, their bullpen is still very much an issue. They gave up a 2-run tank in the 7th to rookie Brenton Doyle. real. And Snakes fans, they were probably punching air. Good thing they have a superstar in Ketel Marte. He tied it right back up on a 2-run single. He's got 62 RBIs and a 130 OPS plus. Tommy Pham, he clutched up to grab the lead back, and 2 more singles put this game out of reach. Lourdes and newcomer Jace Peterson, they delivered with those 2 RBIs. And then the other newcomer, Paul Sewald, who definitely struggled. He gave up 3 hits in this inning. He converted his 24 save. The Diamondbacks, they're back in the win column. Dodgers rookie Bobby Miller had himself a day against the Brewers. This kid shoved for 6 one-hit innings, and he did so on just 74 pitches. He struck out 4, and over his last 6 starts, he has a 2.59 ERA and a 3.17 FIP. He's been really good. He was probably taken out because LA popped off. JD Martinez, he had an RBI double. Enrique Hernandez, he refuses to stop smoking RBI extra base hits. He just is so much more comfortable in that Dodger blue uniform. The Dodgers' 5-run 6th inning came to an end after Miguel Rojas and Mookie Betts both collected RBI singles. This game was a wrap. Well, actually, I do want to show this monster home run courtesy of Carlos Santana, 445 feet to the very top of the bleachers. Also, we had a rare 3-inning save. The newcomer Ryan Yarbrough, he's doing his job. He went the final 3 innings. He saved the bullpen. The Dodgers are now 22-8 over their last 30 games. They're clicking at the right time. The Orioles were in San Diego, and Jack Flaherty was on the bump after having a great first start as an Oriole, and he did not have a great second start his second time out. He walked in a run and then welcomed back Slam Diego, courtesy of Gary Sanchez El Kraken. Gary has 16 home runs in 56 games. And a fun fact from Fuzzy, I'm sorry, Yankees fans, if you're still watching, that is more home runs than every Yankee catcher combined. Manny Machado, he laced a 2-run double, so that's a fat 7 spot on Jack Flaherty's noggin. San Diego, they ran it up to 10 runs after a few RBI doubles, all from Michael Wacha. I have no idea how San Diego isn't 15 games over 500. Honestly, though, the Reds, the Cubs, the Marlins, they all lost yesterday. The Padres and the Diamondbacks won, and honestly, I believe in the Padres and the Diamondbacks more than the Cubs, the Marlins, and the Reds. Is that just me? Brandon Nimmo has been worth every single penny this season. He's up to 17 home runs, a 360 on base percentage, and pretty good defense out in the outfield with 2 outs above average. Pittsburgh rookie masher Liover Peguero, he tied it on a home run. He has 5 home runs and a 121 OPS plus in his first 22 games. He's still just 22 years old. Nothing really happened until the 7th inning when the Mets pitching staff decided to take the night off. They walked Jack Sawinski with the bases loaded. They hit Jared Triolo with the pitch, so there's another run. Oh, we're not done just yet. Liover, he scored on a wild pitch, and then the Mets allowed a 2-run double to Jason DeLay and an RBI 3-bagger to Brian Reynolds. This game was the Mets season in a nutshell, and if that wasn't the 2023 Mets in one video, what about DJ Stewart and Jonathan Arauz going back-to-back for the 2023 Mets? Why are they even on the team? The Mets, they dropped to 12 games under 500. I cannot wait for my recommendations on YouTube to be filled with the $350 million disaster, the tragic downfall of the 2023 Mets. They're coming. So like I mentioned, the Red Sox and the Mariners are pretty close to a wild card spot. The Blue Jays, they're still fine. They've won 2 in a row, but the Mariners and the Red Sox both within 3 games. In the National League, we have the Marlins 1 game ahead of the Cubs and the Reds. The Diamondbacks are back to 2.5 games back. Then you have the Padres at 5.5 games back. Can they make the comeback? Let me know. That's going to do it for today's MLB recap. No immaculate grit today because I have so much to do today. I'm sorry about that, but thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support. Have a good one.